if the spaces we call safe are sometimes the very thing that keeps us from being truly known? My name is AbiCa Canepa-Anson. I'm a psychodynamic psychotherapist, a writer, and someone who has spent over 16 years in the consulting room, listening and observing. I'm also a Black woman, and that has shaped the way I listen, the way I understand this work. And I have written a book about what it is to listen. Might seem obvious, but listening, to be in tune with the other, to help, to support, and to be present. We are told that healing happens when we feel protected, when the room is controlled, managed, when the boundaries are clear, and the discomfort is managed. But what I have found over and over again, with the clients that I have seen over very many years, is that the most profound moments, they don't happen in spite of difficulty. They happen when someone is genuinely witnessed within it, i.e., when they're not managed, when they're not reassured, but when they're met where they're at. This book, is not a safe space. It's a book that I have written about what it means to be truly heard. It draws on psychodynamic thinking, lived experience, and a deep commitment to equity. And it asks us to remember the stories we tell about healing, about connection, about ourselves, and about who those stories have and haven't been told for. I.e., who do those stories? Whose stories are listened to? Who is allowed to speak and who is allowed to be heard? Through honest, intimate case writing, the characters in this story, by the way, they do not represent or resemble any real person, living or dead. I explore the moments when therapy stops being a performance of safety and become something real. One of those stories belonged to Tasha. So this is Tasha's story. So Tasha was a Black British woman on a psychiatric rehabilitation ward where I worked. She diagnosed, medicated, and managed. Of course, because of client confidentiality, a lot of the story has had to be anonymized. Tasha arrived late on our first session. She looked me over and said simply, "I don't want to be here." She threw me back a little bit. But what she needed wasn't a treatment plan, and I kind of felt it and I knew it at the time. She needed someone to stay in the room with her, in the corridor, in the kitchen, wherever she could bear to be. That was really important. She needed to feel, perhaps for the first time, that she wasn't too much, that she wasn't broken, that someone could hold her story, including the parts the system had labeled and filed away. Tasha's story illustrates what is lost when diagnosis replaces understanding. If you've ever sat in a room and wondered whether you were truly seen, this book could be helpful. If you work in mental health, in education, in spaces where humans meet, this book is for you. If you've ever felt unheard, overlooked, or reduced to a label, this book could be helpful. And if you ever wondered whether the field you work in is truly serving everyone who walks through that door, this book is for you. You can read the first sample chapter, Tasha's full story, completely free, in the link below. And if what you find there resonates, then I hope you seek the book out, which is going to be published quite soon, in the next month or so. Because real safety, the kind that allows someone to be truly known, begins not with comfort, but with courage. This is not a safe space by AbiCa Therapy.